Hi, Antoinette here. I'm following up on the hashtag #MyAdorableDecks, I believe started by Lisa Papez, and also Musings by Masha. So the wonderful Masha has also done her version of this, and it got me to thinking. I know I have a slightly different taste in deck to many people. A bit dark, a bit moody, those are my favourites. But where does the word adorable fit into my collection? Initially, I was just going to show you my favourite dark decks, which I think are adorable. And then I had a look at my cupboard and realised within my library, perhaps there are other extensions to the word adorable, and maybe it's colour palette. So I have chosen to go with some of the artistry that I find adorable, and the colour palettes as well. So if it's a colour palette that I think fits into that adorable cutesy category, I've pulled it out. I didn't think I had many, turns out I have quite a few. So let's start. I've got a bunch here, so I'm going to do it through, I thought I'd start with artist, and then we will deviate off artist and then move back into artist again as I go through. So I think it'll make sense once I start, and you'll see why I've done it that way. So I'm going to start with one of my favourite artists is still Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. I do adore her Oracle decks, and it's these ones, and I know that not many people appreciate this deck as perhaps an adorable deck, but I think that her art style I just think is adorable. I think it's really cute. I do honestly find these cards to be personally different, yes, but I find them exceptionally cute. She attacks difficult subjects with these lovely little dolly faces with the big doe eyes, and they just have a cuteness to them. The Clockwork Pumpkin, a wonderful idea in the aha moment. I mean, this one I do love a lot. It also reminds me a lot of course, Halloween, trick-or-treating, and Ghosts of the Past. I can't put it into words. I find these I find adorable, cute. The next is an Oracle, again by same person, and this is Les Vampires. I thought I'd start with what I think you guys might find the worst of the bunch. And again, I find this deck really, it really does go deep into your kind of inner psyche, what's going on inside, inner turmoils. And I find also with that the artwork is perfect, because you look at the artwork and you get a rough sense of what's happening, but then I always use the guidebook with these two decks, because the guidebook really does delve in much deeper onto what's happening, and it gives you kind of two aspects to what's going on. I just really enjoy the way that this whole deck is put together. Anti-hero. What do we have here? Eternal Youth. And the Nightmare. So I know that these aren't going to be for everyone's taste, and I appreciate that, but these are, she was one of my first kind of big favourite artists. And then we have her Beautiful Creatures tarot that she collaborated on with the artwork. So I probably should just preface, so those first two decks are obviously Lucy Cavendish, but Jasmine Beckett Griffiths is the artist behind them, and the Beautiful Creatures is a J.R. Riviera with the artwork again by Jasmine Beckett Griffiths. And this one I do love. It has this beautiful gilding. The backs I think are adorable. And let's get the deck the right way up for you. And again, it's got the same sort of girls images in there. I like to use this one at bedtime when I'm going to bed, just to see what's going on with my day. So yeah, so I find this one, again, I find this one adorable. So this is in my adorable collection. So that is a collection with the artist Jasmine Beckett Griffiths, and I've started with oracles and I've moved into tarot. So I'm going to keep going through tarot now. These ones are by different artists. Sorry, they're all behind me because I haven't got a desk in front of me today. So we have The Queen Alice by Dame Darcy. Have I got that the right way up? Yes, I do. have the backs on these. And then silver gilding. And I just like her artwork. Again, this isn't going to be everyone's version of cute. I know there are so many Alice decks out there that you've probably all got another version of this. That's a bit more cartoonized and a bit cuter, but I just find this, as a tarot deck, I find that was a really cute concept. And I don't need to have lots of Alice tarot decks because I'm not a big Alice fan, to be fair. But I do enjoy Dame Darcy's artwork. So the next one is the Dark Mansion. So that's the box. We have black sides on this, the backs. And then I love the artwork style. I just really do. I think the borders, the detail on this is really cute, adorable, and you know, that's a nice card for you all. But all the images in this, I don't find any of the images to be particularly confronting or difficult to read. Even your justice card. Yeah, so I do really enjoy the artwork on this. The only thing I have to say about this deck is this edition I got is rose cardstock. So there's a Judgment. I think that's brilliant. But it's rose petal cardstock, and it does make it difficult to shuffle and work with. So I don't work with this as often as I'd really like to. But I don't think that's, it's not a make or break of this deck. It's still a really nice deck. I enjoy working with it. Then I've pulled out the Tarot of the Moon Garden, which is a US Games by Karen Marie Swikard, I'm going to say. And I enjoy this one. I put this one in for the colours, and it has like a little quirkiness and a softness to it. So here's the backs. And then it's a bit pippish in style, and I really like that with this deck. But again, there's colours, and we have, I suppose this is adorable, the little cute flying dragonflies and butterflies and unicorns moving around the card. And the colour palette in general is why I put this one in here. So that's the big tarot. Now, moving through tarot into the next collector, who I don't think is going to be too much of a surprise to many of you, but this one's in my collection. So I enjoy this for the colour and the artwork. The artwork, I think the artwork in here is adorable, truly. So this is the Patrick Valenza section. And this is obviously the Rose Paradoxical. So his images, his drawings are different. His take, his line work. I just find the funny little characters to be really endearing, because they're not people. And perhaps that's why I like this so much. They're not real people. But even his pips are beautiful. The High Priestess, the Two of Cups. I mean, there's so much detail and gorgeousness about this deck that I enjoy working with this. Every time it comes out, I really enjoy working with this one. And it's this colour palette that I enjoy the most out of all of his decks, and I own many. The next one that I find cute, I don't work with it in the rose, and I do have it in, I think I have this deck that I'm going to show you now, I think I have it in blue, purple, standard paradoxical, pink or rose, and these classic standard. And that is the Beast Pack. Now this is an extension to the Triumphi that I've just shown you, and this can either be used as an extension to the entire pack, or you can replace your majors with this deck. But I think that, again, that this is just so cute. These little animals have their own, I mean, I'm not a history buff, but I know there's a historical deck that these would be based off of. So they're not just come from nowhere, and each of these little characters have names and write-ups. But it was kind of like learning a whole new set of majors for me, and I find that a bit awkward. So I retired the decks for a moment to my favourite chest, but I do enjoy looking at the artwork. I mean, these really are just adorable. I do like them. And actually the little write-ups, introductions to these are brilliant, because as we know, Patrick Blentz is such an amazing creator. So I have those. I have 2 more from him leading through. So coming down in size now. This is, I love this. This is the Oracle Lucid Dreams, Oracle of Lucid Dreams, Garden of Lucid Dreams. I don't have the box, which is why I'm kind of stalling on. Let me see, is that going to focus? This one's not picking up so well on the camera. But again, I know this isn't going to be for everyone, but I just think the way that he does the artwork, it's just a real element of adorability in there. Even with the darker cards, it just covers. I mean, she reminds me of a famous singer. Now, I'm not going to say her name out loud, but if you can guess, pop it in comments below. But yeah, I don't want to get myself into trouble. But so that is, so the Garden of Lucid Daydreaming, that is my most adorable Oracle, I think. Just the size, the colours, it was a complete surprise and totally offbeat for what we're used to from him. And then moving along with him is playing card deck, the Royal Mischief transformation playing cards. Again, these have like a gunmetal edging. They're sort of a plasticky, they're quite thick. So not everyone's on board with cardstock for these. But again, I think that the images are just so cutesy. I mean, look, the dogs. Away. So his creativity with this deck, I love it. I don't use it as often as I probably should, or you know, but if I wanted some art inspiration, as many know, I do use his decks for art inspiration for myself too. So I have that one, and then I've decided to, as I've come down in size, I'm going to stick with pocket decks. Pocket decks, because pocket decks I find to be just so cute, adorable. Put them in my pocket. That comes under the word adorable, cute for me. There's a pocket deck. It doesn't matter what colour it is. It could just be any pocket deck, and I'll find that adorable. So I have the Nicoletta Jacoli pocket size, and it's tiny. This is tiny. But I find the Nicoletta artwork to be really cute. Sorry if it's not in proper focus. But you get an idea of what's going on here. I mean, there's walkthroughs, I think, of these on my channel, so if you needed to see any of them, they should be there for you. Then we have what I was calling one of the quiet arrows, because that's what somebody else said it was relating to. So it's another pocket deck. It's a really simple pips deck. I got it because I love the backs. The backs were just adorable. So we're just going to overuse that word all the way through this video. So the backs were adorable, but the images again as well, just they have although they're black in the main, they have a really nice little cute artwork. I mean, that's the Emperor. The Emperor's new clothes, that reminds me of, you know, the Emperor's new shoes. That's a really, really sweet death card. And the star, look, sprinkling stardust. Is that the star? Yeah. Checking. And what a lovely Pentacles card. A loaf of bread. I mean, yeah, so many other reasons why this one's in here. But again, mostly because it's tiny, throw it in your bag. It comes with a little tarot mat, a little book, and it all packs away into this box. So for that reason, it's in my category here. Then, so I've already said this, but anything that comes in a tin. So I have so many honourable mentions I could have thrown into this category, but I decided to pick on colour palette and humour, things that make me, you know, smile. So therefore that must hit the adorability factor for me. is the Tarot de Maria Cilia, because I like the colour palette here. So it's a really simple colour palette. It's a nice sized deck. These tarot tin decks, the cardstock quality just seem to be on point for me. They shuffle beautifully, they glide. But this particular deck is here, as I say, because of its colourway. So that was that one. And then back to my usual taste and standard, we have the Halloween Tarot in a tin. It's got amazing colourway on it. Beautiful backs. And the artwork makes me laugh. The artwork is so humorous. You couldn't not put this in here. I know so many of you will only use this deck for Halloween, but all of my, what I class as darker looking decks, they're not just for Halloween. I mean, I can pull them out for Halloween, sure, but they're year-round decks for me. So I don't just use this. This one I chucked in my bag the other month to travel to London. So it does come with me. And then the final mention to this sort of adorable cute deck thing is my Dixit Dreams. This is a game, this isn't reading cards, but artwork. I know Justin Michaels, he has another kind of weird set of gaming cards, and they were fantastic, but when you lay them together, the backgrounds always match up and they always read stories. And yeah, so I can see me adding the playing cards that he has into my collection, because I just found them fascinating. I wanted to just sit down and study them. I wanted to lay them all in a row and see how all the background just flew through, and each picture had its own thing going on. It was fascinating to see. So I have that as well. That's all of my cards that I've got here that I've pulled out. The other deck that I do not own, which I think is truly adorable, and maybe that's because I don't own it, perhaps, I don't know, but you know that whole thing of when you're really wanting something, and that was the Awakened edition of the Ember and Aura Tarot. So she has two versions. One that's on her website, that's not the one that I was after, or have been after, or lusting after for a long time. It was the other one where the images were kind of blown up. It's got more pink tint to it. That one kind of, well, maybe because I like the Triumphi Rose Paradoxical so much, but it really did wave at me. And every time I see it, I'm just like, my little heart goes, and I'm like, oh, look at that deck. So Gerald at Tarot Stash recently did a live where he and a couple of guests compared their two editions, and they talked about their favourite cards. So if you want to see that, go check that one out, and then you'll know what deck I'm talking about. So if you ever see it, please let me know. So those are my adorable decks. What are yours? Do you have any of these? And how controversial is some of my choices in this category for you? Or have you agreed with my way of choosing for this? I don't own the unicorn and the sweet kind of pastel decks that so many others do own, which I agree all fit into this category, but I just don't own those decks. So here's what we've done. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye bye.